Hello and welcome back to Serious About Salvage, and what is now going to be the last video of the Audi RS5. I have made a decision, and unfortunately I just can't see any reason to continue with this car. It's a massive shame, and it's not the way I wanted to go out of 2021 with, but I have my reasons, which I'm going to share with you now. And I also thought, you know, if I'm going to show you guys the good experiences with salvage cars, you need to see the bad ones as well. You need to see what can happen when things don't go to plan, and the potential for big losses. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Let's just spin round, we'll go around it, and I'll explain to you why I've come to this decision, what we're going to do with it, and we'll go from there, I think. But as always, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. I'm sorry this series hasn't gone to plan. If this is why you've subscribed to the channel over the last couple of days over Christmas, but rest assured, I have unfinished business with RS5s. I'm going to find another one. Trust me, I will find another one. This hasn't put me off. I might put off when I find out how much I'm going to get back for it, but that's to be seen. But yeah, don't be disheartened. This isn't what usually happens on this channel. This is the first time. Oh no, space, it's the second time. The R32. The second time, I think, I've decided to cut my loss with a car and get rid. So, to be continued, RS5, I'm telling you. Let's dive into it. But yes, don't forget to subscribe, comments, thumbs up, all the usual stuff. Let's just dive in. Right, Mr. RS5. It's a damn shame. It is a damn shame. You know, if I'd have gone through and finished this car off, I'd have been really struggling to get rid of it. Makes no sense to me. For me, young family, and I need a van. The wife wouldn't. Oh, she might use it. I don't know. She might have used it. She used to use the brand new S4 we used to have. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is. So, you'll have seen the last video, the fact that we just cannot get this car to run. And at the end of it, I hadn't decided what to do. Now, as you can see, it's put back together. That's because I have no option but to send it back through auction. Again, obviously as a non-runner. So, rest assured, anyone who buys from salvage auction is well aware of the risk, and if a car's not listed as running, you've got to presume it's not running, which I take a lot of gamble with non-runners, because a lot of the time you can find very cheap cars that you literally put a booster pack on and they start up. This was a different kettle of fish. This was a big risk, and I knew at the time, and I do believe the money that I paid for it, I should be able to get back. But what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to send it through auction, and I'm going to document it, and I'm going to do a video on it for you guys, because you've asked in the past about what the process is like putting cars through auction. So not only is this going, but as you can see, the Mini's not in the corner, because that's also getting collected today. They're both going together, and they're going to both go through auction together. And as the results come in, like I said, I will do a video. I'll video the actual auction happening for you. And I'll publish it, and I'll show you. Because like I said, things don't always go to plan with these cars, and you've got to be aware of that when you're buying salvage vehicles. Now this car, I can't remember if I told you before, but it stands me at about £10,500 this, which is a big chunk of money, especially when you've got a suspected seized engine. Now, I'm not 100% sure it's seized. It's incredibly stiff, and I think it's well on its way to being seized. What I did to confirm was I ordered a proper crankshaft turning tool. Now, unfortunately, at the time of trying it, I didn't think forward enough to video it. So, and I can't fit it in there now, I just checked. But basically, this goes on your crank, all over the bolts, and then you can turn it over by hand. And with all the spark plugs out, the car in neutral, because I'm not too sure how these S-tronics affect the engine. I'm presuming neutral, it's disengaged from the gearbox. But anyway, with the spark plugs out, and I'll show you the bar that I used. This bar, so what, it's a 2 foot bar in it at least. It's a decent sized bar. I don't know how to explain it. If I had the bar on and I would lengthen it as hard as possible with all my weight, it wouldn't move. If I like jumped at it, I could get it to move about 10mm at a time. Now, there was no compression in that engine with the plugs out, so there's no way it should be that tight. So, although it's not, excuse me, completely seized, it's extremely tight. Now, I can only presume that is from being attempted to start with no engine oil in. I have no other solution. You'd expect if it ran when it had crashed until it had run out of oil, it would be seized solid. So the fact that it will turn over, but it's just too tight, I suspect is because it was attempted to have been started in the salvage yard, or by whoever recovered it, or by the person who crashed it. Maybe it turned off and they tried to start it again. I don't know. At this point, it's irrelevant. The fact is, I'm 99.99999% sure that engine, as a minimum, needs a rebuild. And unfortunately, I'm just not prepared to go that deep in this car, because although I do believe 10.5 grand was a good price, that was in the hope that it was going to start. If you delve into an engine rebuild, I know someone's done it on their channel. Salvage did it on his B4. Not B4, RS4, sorry. But, you know, he did it himself. I'm not going to pretend that I have the knowledge that, you know, saving salvage has when it comes to pulling apart an engine. It's just not something. As a first engine rebuild, a 4.2 V8, it's not the right one to be doing it with, is it? So, instead of diving into a 6-month headache and you know, a lot of money, I've decided I've just got to cut my losses, and it's got to go back. And someone else, you know, I'm sure there'll be someone out there who likes living salvage, has the knowledge, can pull it apart, rebuild it themselves, and end up with a cheap car. I'm sure of it, because there isn't that much damage, like we've seen, no chassis damage. And the reason, obviously, why I put it back together is to represent it, obviously, for me, the best I could, but to show that stuff like headlights. Christ, I'm sorry. I've been really ill this last 2 weeks, and I'm just starting to get rid of it. But yeah, so I needed to show that there was headlights and stuff with it, because when you pile a load of parts into the boot of a vehicle and send it to auction, they don't take a picture of the parts in the boot. They'll just take a picture as the car stands here. So if all the front were missing, them headlights are expensive. I need to make sure that people know they're with it. That one is perfectly fine. It might have a snap bracket. I think that's got a broken bracket as well, but they both work and they're both usable. I need to make sure they're with it so that it reflects in the price of what the car goes for, because, you know, at the end of the day, I want to lose as little as possible, you know. Like I said, the car doesn't run. The car will be listed as a non-runner, so I'm not hiding anything. And, you know, hopefully forever. Christ, I do apologise for whoever bids on this car. The first videos will be out before it goes for auction, so they have the opportunity that if they've seen the videos, they'll know what they're buying, and it could benefit someone. You know, not too sure if this video will be out in time. It all depends when the auction yard decides to put it through, because I have no control about that. They collect it today, which is the 23rd of December. And I think you're going to see this video on the 29th. So I would have thought probably that it hasn't gone through at this point. Christ, the more I talk, the worse I'm getting. So yeah, it might be a benefit to actually have it on the channel before it goes through. But yeah, basically this is the way it is, unfortunately. Like I said, you can't win them all, and at some point you've got to know when to cut your losses and walk away and not get too deep into something that you can't possibly ever get out of. Like I said, I do believe I might get out of this all right. Inside, no issues at all. Lovely. No damage, no airbags, and with a you know, relatively low mileage, only 49,000 miles. You know, it's a really good example and a really good spec of an RS5. Now, it's got the reversing camera, it's got the nicer, bigger alloys, it's got some really good spec. So it would make an absolutely stunning car, and there's, you know, not a lot of damage in terms of parts. Yes, they are expensive, don't get me wrong. Parts are expensive, but like I said, it's all about how far someone's willing to go with it and how much they can do themselves personally. And for me, financially, and in terms of time, this car unfortunately doesn't make sense for me. So we're going to use it as an experience, and like I said, as an example to show just how badly buying salvage cars can go. Concerned my coughing's going to make this unwatchable. But yeah, at the current climate, you can't even go and view these cars. So all you can go off is the auction sheet, and we've seen ourselves many times it says, won't start, can't test, can't start. You get them back and they do. This, unfortunately, is one of them examples where it's exactly as it says on the tin. Won't start. So yeah, that's the way it is, isn't it? So I think we're going to end it there. It's just a little video. Like I said, I will actually video this and the Mini go through. I have put reserves on both these cars because I do need to protect myself from an absolutely humongous loss. I can't obviously stand losing 10 grand of money, just like no one can. So I have got a reserve on it and on the Mini. And we'll see. With auctions, when you pay and they collect, you get 3 auctions for it to go through. If on the first auction it doesn't meet reserve, they do phone you, they do ask you if you want to accept the offer or if you want to counter bid against the person who won and offer it them. So it's a bit of cat and mouse chase if they don't make reserve of getting as much as you can, or you refuse it and it goes through again for 3 times until, if you don't go through the 3rd time, you can pay more or you can go and get your car back. So now that I can't talk without coughing, we're going to leave it there. But as always, thank you. I do apologise, like I said, it's not gone to plan, but they don't always do, and it's good for you guys to see it, because if you're contemplating buying a car yourself from auction, you need to know it doesn't always work out. So I hope you've all had a very nice Christmas and looking forward to the new year. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.